So, New South Wales Police, there's a few issues going on in New South Wales Police. So, what are they going to do? They're going to do a review. They're going to get a report done and do a review into the culture of New South Wales Police because no police organisation around Australia has ever done that. And then, 3 years later, you're still waiting for the review to be completed, the report to be put out, for changes to be actually made. In the meantime, police officers who are working within the organisation have taken their own lives or have, gotten out of the job, exasperated, feeling let down, just completely burnt out. But the organisation's doing a cultural review. Typical, typical.
Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
So this report came out just the other day, and it's about New South Wales Police. Okay, now they're going to do a report. They're going to do a review and put out a report. This is the same thing the Queensland Police did, virtually the same thing. Looking into accusations of bullying and harassment and misogyny and all this kind of thing. Queensland Police did the same thing. They've done the review. They worked hand in hand with the Queensland Human Rights Commission. They put out the report. The commissioner makes his little announcement and talks about it. 2 years later, officers are still there waiting up. Is anything happening? Anything happening? Hello? No, nothing happens. They just like to do these reviews, put out the reports, and then don't make any flippant changes. They don't do anything to actually help. And then a couple of years later, they're wondering why you have police are taking their own lives. No one's talking about it. Police are quitting in droves, leaving the job. That's what I've been told, not and by several sources. Police are just here in Queensland. Police are just leaving in droves. Because the Queensland Police aren't dealing with the root causes. They want to do the reviews, they do the reports, but they don't actually take action. Anyway, this is New South Wales. So New South Wales Police push to find root cause of psychological injury claims. I know several officers within Queensland Police have had psychological issues because of the job, specifically because of the job. And I tell you what, no one within the QPS or the flippin' union could give a damn about actually helping them. Anyway, officers allege bullying and harassment in New South Wales, like I said. So, in short, the Auditor General report has found that nearly 75% of New South Wales police compensation costs over a 5-year period were psychological injury claims. The force spent nearly more than 1.7 billion on these claims between 2019 and 2024. You got to wonder if they actually took these things serious and actually made an attempt to help to curtail these issues. Could they actually be saving themselves money? 1.7 billion. That's ridiculous. So a review into New South Wales police culture remains underway, and a separate report is expected by the end of the year. This typical bureaucracy, political rubbish. They always love to do their reviews, do their reports. New South Wales Police spent 1.7 billion on staff psychological injury claims. An Auditor General report examining the mental health and well-being of New South Wales police officers found the force has not made enough effort to understand the root causes. Well, how could they possibly understand the root causes? It's not like New South Wales Police is very old. It's not like they have a lot of history to go by. Gee, I wonder what could be the root causes. You know, it's not like they're just a brand new organisation. It's ridiculous the way they turn a blind eye and then claim ignorance. It said New South Wales Police Force was therefore not efficiently or effectively preventing future psychological injuries. In the 5 years between 2019 and 24, psychological injury claims made up 74% of compensation claims. The report found work-related harassment. This is the same thing, like I said, that goes on in Queensland Police. I bet you it goes on every other police force and service around Australia. So work-related harassment and or workplace bullying was among the fourth most prevalent category used by New South Wales police officers claiming psychological injuries behind other mental health stress factors, exposure to workplace violence, and work pressure. Acting Police Commissioner Peter Thurtle, in response, said ensuring officers had the support they needed was a priority. Rubbish. It's never a priority. It's just a bit of window dressing. It's like Queensland. Our people matter because we're a priority, which is the biggest lie Queensland police tell. Anyway, it was a priority for the force and it had implemented several initiatives aimed at improving psychological well-being. Oh, sorry. I'll keep going without. The audit findings primarily reflect the past state and do not adequately reflect recent investment. Really? Because they're talking about issues between 2019 and 2024, but that was all past. That was last year. Last year. We're into 2025 now. Things have completely changed, apparently. Okay, he goes on and says, I do not share your view that the New South Wales Police Force is not efficiently or effectively preventing future psychological injuries. I do not share it. They just come out and deny it and think, nah, that's it. We don't share it. We don't admit it. We don't want to acknowledge what's gone on, the review. We don't want to acknowledge the report. And they just drag their feet, and it helps no one. It doesn't help the officers who are actually on the ground. Where risks cannot be eliminated, the New South Wales Police Force strives to minimise risks to health and safety. Bullying and harassment in the workplace was more commonly used in psychological injury claims by officers than exposure to a traumatic event or being assaulted on the job. I will guarantee, I would be willing to bet same thing in Queensland. Same thing, bullying and harassment in the workplace. Way more prevalent than the issues coming from exposure to traumatic jobs. The report did not further examine workplace bullying or other impacts on workplace morale. It comes after an ABC News investigation late last year into the exposed widespread allegations of a toxic culture, including bullying, harassment, discrimination, and a dangerous lack of mental health support. The investigation included claims the toxic culture was driving officers out of the job in large numbers, leading to unprecedented shortages across the state. It prompted the outgoing New South Wales Police Commissioner, Karen Webb. Wasn't she just, she was right up there with Katarina Carroll. Shocking. Anyway, it's caused her to announce an independent review of the culture on the force. That review is still underway, and a report is expected to be released by the end of the year. The Auditor General report said the force had been operating with significant workforce shortages since 2023. It's the same as Queensland Police because New South Wales, Queensland, they attacked the police force. They attacked their members, forcing them to get, with the mandates and all that rubbish. They come along, they attack the police, then they wonder why police leave in droves because they don't support them. It's happened all across Australia. They've spent years not supporting their own members, and then they turn around and do reviews and do reports and say, oh, we can fix the problem. They constantly overlook the fact that they caused the flipping problem in the first place. The freaking Katarina and that clown minister who was working with, they caused the damn problem, and then they turn around and said, oh, we can fix this, but you caused it, you nufties. Sorry, I'm a little frustrated. Okay, I can't read any more of that because it's just frustrating. Look, the same thing goes on in Queensland. The same thing's been going on in New South Wales for decades when it comes to bullying, workplace harassment, this kind of thing. This is a culture that I would be willing to bet it's in all the police services around Australia. But I know for a fact it's in Queensland where I worked anyway. But as usual, what's going to happen in New South Wales Police? They're going to do the review. They're going to do the reports. The main officers, the commissioner, and all these little numpties that are next to him. They're going to drag their feet. They're not going to actually make actual changes, tangible changes. They're not going to do things that can actually benefit officers who are on the ground. They're going to continue to drag their feet, and then they're going to wonder why they have police officers who are, ending their own lives. Police officers who are quitting in droves, as happening in Queensland as well. But then they'll come along with some brilliant little plan. So we're going to fix the problem, continually overlooking the fact that they've been part of the problem for years. I hope this works out better. But like I said, they had the same kind of issue here in Queensland. They did their review, cultural review, hasn't gotten them anywhere. They haven't done a thing about it. Anyway, my name's Jay Fallon. Thank you for listening. This is all just my opinion, but let me know what you think.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No more demons to be done. No nothing's gonna focus on me goal. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna hold me down. Got my eye on the prize, gonna sail on the clouds and